Question of the day. What's your favorite sequel? I mean, is it Empire Strikes Back? Is it Back to the Future 2? Because admit it, hoverboards are the greatest things of all time, and we should have had them 4 years ago, and yet all we have is hoverboards, or those weird two-wheeled things at which people ram themselves into walls and fall all over the place. But what's your favorite sequel? Let me know in the comments below, because today we're talking about... Okay, so it's weird to call it a sequel because it is technically an expansion, but because this game is mission-based, it's mission-based in the sense that you don't have to play anything else except the one you want to play. The reason I'm bringing that up is that's why I'm calling it a sequel, is because today we're talking about Chronicles of Crime, Noir. I'm a huge fan of hard-boiled detectives, 1940s noir. Touch of Evil is a fantastic movie. Orson Welles, Charlton Heston, great movie. It's actually name-checked here in the instructions as one of the classic noir films. But any of the, Dashiell Hammett books that were made into movies, or the Dashiell Hammett stories themselves, they're all filmed noir, right? It's this stylistic, black and white style of hard-boiled detectives, a lot of inner monologue. I love the fact that there's inner monologue in these stories. But today we're looking at Chronicles of Crime, Noir. What is it? Is it something you should play if you like Chronicles of Crime? Is it something you should skip if you like Chronicles of Crime? Is it something that's going to make you play Chronicles of Crime if you already don't like the Chronicles of Crime system? That's a good question. Let's take a look right now what comes with this one and makes it different, new, all that sort of stuff. And then we'll come back up, talk about if you should get this one right now. She walked into my office, sat down, and I thought maybe this is the day that I get the expansion. Kind of like that, but better. A lot better. Right now. So here's the Noir expansion. Not a ton of new stuff, other than just more cards, more locations, pretty much. But there are a few new rules, and those rules would be for these 4 cards here. So instead of having the scientists or the forensics evidence, you'll get those assigned to you from having just the random character cards be called. For instance, this was one of our characters this time was this chap right here. He was one of our guys. He was a forensics expert, but that's not always the case because he's just a numbered character. But for instance, this is what really makes the game shine, the expansion. So you have this, is you can shadow or tail someone. So you click this, and then it says, who would you like to shadow? And then you click the person you want to follow. It may follow them around. It may listen in. It may eavesdrop. It does really cool stuff. It takes a lot of time, but it's really cool because it's something very thematic to the system. This one is corruption. You can pay people. You now have a money system where you can pay people increments of $20 at a time to get some information out of them, whether it be bribing them or paying them for whatever cause. This one's intimidate, so you can threaten to beat someone up to get some more information out of them. Some people react positively to that. Some people react negatively to that, just like in life. And then this one is more like a breaking and entering. Obviously, there are penalties for doing this if you're not careful, but this is cool because it allows you to get into places sometimes that you couldn't always get into, and you get to use all of these in the first mission, so that's really nice to see that. Obviously, you get new characters, and this shows off a new art style, and I'm very fond of this new art style. Just love that film noir style. It just looks so good. A lot of great looking cards throughout here, a lot of great looking characters throughout here. It's amazing art, a lot of new locations. And notice one thing I really like about this, and again, it's purposely done in the original to kind of have that Sherlocky feel. Notice there's no words on here. They are what they are. It just says what they are. I mean, it doesn't say what they are at all. It's just very beautiful 1940s Hollywood art, and it's so pretty looking, but there's nothing to get in the way of the actual images themselves. Just great stuff. But that's all that comes with the expansion itself, besides there's a few more of these kind of more specific evidence cards, but that's it. But so much can open up just because of the game itself, using the system of the cards being reusable for every mission. So that's what comes inside. Let's take a look at what we think about it right now. So that's it. That's Chronicles of Crime Noir. That's all the things that come with it outside of the app, right? First of all, there's the new app, not the new app, but the new missions in the app. But the thing I love the most about this, first and foremost, is the art. I love this art style so much more than the original. And not a knock against the original. The original was stylized on purpose. It was meant to look as it was. But I love this art. It's done so well. It just feels I don't know, it just feels cool, man. I love the way they do this 1940s hard-boiled look, right? I also love the fact that those 4 cards replace the 4 people you can call. You're no longer calling forensics. Now, you may get a forensic expert, or you may get a photographer or something like that, but you have intimidate, you have bribe, essentially, you have break in, you have shadow. I love that. I love the idea that you can tail someone, put the binoculars up and watch them for hours. I think that is just brilliant when it comes to doing and getting the feel of that hard-boiled film noir detective. So kudos to them for just the theme being really sold throughout this. Like, again, you're still pointing at QR codes, you're still trying to figure things out, you're still feeling really dumb when you can't find your way through it. I do that every time. But I will say the feel of this one feels more thematic, like the idea of you being able to intimidate someone. They go, oh, hold up now, I'll tell you exactly what you want to know. Or they might get angry, right? I love that extra little step. And it's almost like this was something that was thought of originally with the Chronicles of Crime, but they're rolling it out incrementally to give you just further and further taste of the game, kind of like Time Stories did, right? So I'm a huge fan of the fact that this theme really fits the new mechanics. I like the new missions. I think they're cool. I love the fact that there's internal monologue, and you just get that whole. You can just imagine Peter Falk reading that to you, or Eddie Valiant, except he didn't actually inner monologue. But you just get the idea of that detective mindset, inner monologue going, and it's just so cool that they give you that little piece of fan service, I guess. But you can tell that the authors of this and the creators of this expansion really love this genre. There's a lot of little historical notes. There's a lot of just really great things in the instruction book about this. My only problem is that this is an expansion and you do have to have the base game. What I mean by that is I love Chronicles of Crime. You've seen my review already. But I love this one better. I like this one so much better than the first one, and I love the first one, you know what I mean? So if there were 2 base sets, and you had to choose between, do you want the noir or do you want the original? I would have picked the noir like that. So that's just my personal preference, but it also tells you that there are a lot of new mechanics and a lot of new things in this one, some nice new art and things like that. It is more of the same, essentially, but you're getting enough new tastes and tweaks to really rejuvenate the feel of the system because of just the idea of the theme being slightly different. So I love this. I think if you like Chronicles of Crime, this is a no-brainer. If you didn't like Chronicles of Crime because it was just scanning QR codes, try this one again because of the theme change with the detectives and all that sort of stuff, and feeling just a little bit more hard-nosed in it. So try that out. If you really just kind of on the fence, I think this one might sell you a little bit more. So that's Chronicles of Crime Noir. I'm Bryan Drake here on the Dice Tower. Make sure to watch the videos here on the latest retro at Twitter, Instagram, all that sort of stuff. And until next time, we will see you.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.